Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really exciting concept, the 2026 zoning hack, specifically looking at unincorporated land. Listen, if your ultimate dream, your absolute freedom play, is buying a few acres, pulling up an RV, and just living off the grid, well, there's a massive roadblock we need to talk about right now.
90%. Yeah, that is the harsh reality we've got to face right out of the gate. According to land experts, that beautiful off-grid dream you've been picturing in your head, it's completely illegal in 90% of U.S. counties. Crazy, right? Literally, 9 out of 10 counties in this country have rules that just flat out won't let you buy a piece of dirt and live on it in an RV or a tiny home without jumping through some incredibly expensive, exhausting hoops.
Okay, let's dive into this, because this is exactly where the frustration really sets in for so many people. You know the story. You spend months researching, you pinch your pennies to save up, you finally park that gorgeous tiny home, and bam, barely a week goes by before a code enforcement officer is knocking on your door to hand you a violation notice. It is just so incredibly demoralizing to put in all that effort just to get blocked by an absolute wall of strict local regulations, which naturally makes you wonder, how in the world is anyone actually pulling this off?
Well, to understand how people actually do it, we really have to look at the jurisdictions. If your land is stuck inside city limits, meaning it's governed by a strict city council, you are dealing with endless red tape. I mean, we're talking crazy zoning rules, constant inspections, you name it. The city essentially dictates exactly what a home has to look like. But step just outside that invisible boundary and deal directly with the county seat, it is a completely different environment. You find real flexibility, independence, and way fewer restrictions. That contrast right there is the absolute key to making your off-grid living a reality.
And that brings us to the real secret mechanism of this whole strategy. If you take away only one concept from this explainer, please make it this: unincorporated land. Simply put, this is property that sits entirely outside of city limits. When you buy unincorporated land, you completely bypass the strict city council and their suffocating zoning laws. Instead, you're just dealing directly with the county seat. It's the ultimate loophole. This is the exact mechanism that allows everyday buyers to park their RVs, set up their solar arrays, and actually start living the life they want without drowning in red tape.
Let's move to and see how this builds in our next section, the Loophole Guide, where regulations work for you. Let's look at exactly how to find these friendly zones.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is just the sheer variety of friendly zoning approaches all across the country. Take Missouri, for instance. Down in Benton County, you've got common sense zoning, with virtually zero restrictions in unincorporated areas. Or look way up north at Alaska's Mat-Su County. They barely even do zoning outside the main cities. If you can get your RV out there, you can live in it. And over in New Mexico's Cibola County, they take a beautifully minimalist approach to building codes. See, this loophole isn't just some internet myth. It's literally written right into the local regulations of these specific areas.
Okay, finding your first parcel. How do you actually get your hands on one? Look, if you're a new buyer, the process can feel totally overwhelming, but I promise you, it doesn't have to be. Whether you're working with a super tight budget, looking for a community vibe, or maybe you just want total, absolute seclusion, there is a specific type of unincorporated land waiting for you. Let's run through some simple examples.
First up, let's talk about the starter parcel over in Modoc County, California. Now, I know what you're thinking. California is famous for red tape, right? But Modoc is like a hidden sanctuary for the off-grid pioneer. They actually allow long-term camping with just a simple permit, and tiny homes are totally welcomed as long as they meet basic safety standards. But here is the absolute most incredible part, the accessibility. You can find a 1-acre parcel near Alturas starting at literally $1 down. $1! I mean, that completely shatters the myth that you have to be wealthy to start your off-grid journey.
And this brilliantly illustrates our next example, the privacy parcel, down in Cibola County, New Mexico. New Mexico is famous for its minimalist zoning approach outside of city limits. Because the building codes are so incredibly relaxed, the Rama area in Cibola County has become a massive hotspot for people wanting to build alternative housing, things like earthships, or just live peacefully in their RVs. You can snag gorgeous 5-acre lots out here with these jaw-dropping mesa views, giving you all the privacy and creative space you could ever possibly want.
But hey, maybe 5 acres just isn't cutting it for you. Maybe you want to be truly, entirely left alone. Well, that brings us back to California, up to Lassen County, home of the secluded parcel. Lassen just oozes this awesome high-desert independent spirit. Because you're dealing with much larger acreage here, we're talking sweeping properties like the 20-acre Moon Valley Ranch lots, you naturally have fewer neighbors. And because of that, much more relaxed oversight on temporary structures. If your goal is vast seclusion and massive space where you can just do your own thing, this is exactly the type of unincorporated land you want to target.
So, the crucial point is, to actually pull this off, you need to follow 3 distinct steps. Step 1, obviously, is finding that unincorporated land, so you bypass the city. But please pay close attention to Step 2. You still have to verify the county rules and regulations. Just because land is unincorporated does not mean it's some lawless free-for-all. As we just saw, a lot of counties still have a permit process you've got to follow. The hack here is that the rules are friendlier, not that they don't exist. Verify everything with the county seat, and then you can finally move to Step 3, which is actually starting to live your dream.
I want you to remember this. Your future doesn't need a permit. It just needs a starting point. I absolutely love that. It completely shifts your perspective, doesn't it? You don't need permission from some strict city bureaucracy to carve out an amazing life for yourself. You really don't. You just need to be smart, understand the loophole of unincorporated land, and find that perfect starting point where the local regulations actually align with your goals.
So, think about it. Are you looking for that super accessible $1 down starter parcel? Or maybe you're craving the creative privacy of the desert? Or do you want the vast, wide-open seclusion of a 20-acre ranch? The loophole is absolutely real, it's out there, and the land is waiting. You just have to decide. What type of off-grade land are you looking for?